All right, special episode here. I'm Josh from Triple Alphas. That's Brice, and that's Roy over there. The NFL draft is Thursday, so you guys are seeing this on Wednesday. It's tomorrow, and this is where NFL teams who don't spend in free agency make their living, and this is how you find your next superstar and some of your favorite players. You're going to find a lot of hits in this draft. It's a very offensive draft. You're also going to see a lot of busts. We have each made a mock draft for the first round. We're going to go picks 1 through 32. And we're going to go one by one, and we have a game set up, and you'll see the rules right here. It's going to start. It goes like this. You get 3 points if you get the correct pick, player, and team. So for an example, if the Bears at 1 select Caleb Williams, and you have that, you get 3 points. You got the player in the right spot to the right team, okay? You get 1 point if you get the team in the right pick, to pick the right position. So I'll use an example. You pick Jaden Daniels to go 2 to the Commanders, but they trade Drake May. You got the team and the position right. They just chose a different player in the same position group. You get 1 point. That's it. So if you have,
what if you get the say like I don't know, just at number 2, the Commanders traded to the Giants and they picked Jaden Daniels, but you had Jaden Daniels at number 2. Do you get a point for that? Wasn't the right team, but it's the right pick.
We can do that. We can add that in.
I was just wondering.
If you get the right player and the right number, so a player going 2, we can do that. We can add that to our own.
Or what if 2 and 3 flip, but I still have the right guy going to the right team?
Then we can do that. We can do it ourselves. Yeah. We'll know.
Okay.
And so I think we're just going to kick it off with the number 1 pick. And on the clock at number 1 is the Chicago Bears, Bryce's favorite team. Not every day your favorite team gets a pick at 1. He's gotten to do it a few times in 2 years. But luckily this isn't your pick, though, so it makes you feel a little bit better. So with the number 1 pick, Brice, who are the Bears going with?
I don't think it's a doubt in anybody's mind they're taking Caleb Williams at number 1.
I think we're going to skim through this one. I am also in agreement. I have Caleb Williams.
Yeah, Caleb Williams.
This is where, I shouldn't say the draft starts, but this is where the first debate comes. Roy, I'm going to start with you. Who do you have going to Washington?
Jaden Daniels.
Brice?
I don't. I think for the play style that Washington likes, they take Drake May over Jaden Daniels.
I also have Jaden Daniels with you, Roy. I think from all the buzz I've heard, that's who they're going with.
Yep.
Number 3, Brice, the Patriots.
Here I have Jaden Daniels.
Okay. Roy?
Actually, I have J.J. McCarthy. I think somebody's going to trade somebody up. So
actually, it isn't the craziest thing in the world I've ever heard.
I just don't think there's any way you can pick a guy who threw 1 pass in the Natty. And
1 pass. I think he threw about 30 and did pretty well. I think he was a national champion, so that's all that fucking matters.
I have Drake May going here. If Bill Belichick was here, I'd put thousands of dollars on it. Yeah. But I can't make it a guaranteed lock on this one, but I do have Drake May going 3, and then I'm shocked. I got who I think, in my opinion, could be the best player in the draft. I have Marvin Harrison going 4 to the Cardinals.
Roy,
I do too. Marvin Harrison Jr.
I as well do, but we didn't do any trades in this. I wanted to put my trade package together for the Bears to flip this.
Okay. So I'll ask you this: Do you think it will happen? Not want. Do you think it will happen?
I think they're putting the package together, but I don't know if they can offer enough to get it.
Okay, so you just don't think they can offer enough. No. Well, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Arizona
in the first 4 picks, do you think there will be a trade?
Yes.
Think, not want.
I think somebody at 3 will trade. I think
Patriots
will trade back.
I do not think there will be a trade in the top 4. I think the first trade will be at number 5. Now, I don't have it. And I do not think this player is going number 5 to this team because I don't think they're going to be picking. I think this is where the Vikings will trade. Now, I'm not going to have that on here, obviously. And I'll save my Vikings pick at 5. I just moved them all the way down to 11 where the Vikings are. But in this one, I would have the Chargers at 11 in theory. I have Romo Duze going number 5 in this theory to the Chargers.
I do not see the Chargers trading at all. I think there's 2 guys here that either one of them could fit their team really well. And I took Joe Alt going to the Chargers.
Could easily see that.
Shit, that's who I took. I took Joe Alt.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
I think Jim Harbaugh.
It's Jim Harbaugh, and he's going to pick a lineman most likely.
He wants to turn them into a run
Yeah.
first team, and Joe Alt just makes the most sense for Jim Harbaugh.
All right, number 6, New York Giants. You got Bryce.
I have the New York Giants picking up Malik Neighbors from LSU.
All right.
I have Drake May at this point. I think Giants want Drake May. That's where I have him.
You think that they're taking a quarterback after investing in?
I mean, he
that's
only has
what-
1 year left. It was a 2-year. It was a 3-year deal before last season that was only guaranteed 2. So after this year, they can move it.
Yeah. No, I
So,
think they
but-
are.
Man, it is a good point. This is where I have Joe Alt going. I just think they're going to go offensive line. I think it could definitely be a receiver, though. I'm not knocking your guys' pick at all.
I just don't think they have any targets at all there right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree, but
They need a lot of things there in New York.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Number 7, Bryce. What do you got in Tennessee?
I have from UCLA, edge rusher
Leatu Latu.
Leatu Latu. That is who I have.
Okay.
I have Ed Rusher, Dallas Turner from Alabama going here.
I struggled with this pick. I could totally see offensive linemen, but they have offensive linemen, so I don't know. They took a lineman last year in the first round, so I don't know if they do it back to back. I have tight end Brock Bowers going there, giving Will Levis another target.
See, I think,
But I also think he could fall. I feel like tight end's a weird position. He could go at like 4, 5, or 6, or you could see him go at 19, 20, or 21. I whole range.
that's the other name that I saw going at 5 to the Chargers. I think it'll
Yep.
be Joe Alt or Brock Bowers.
If they had their old coach, I thought Brock Bowers was going to be a lock
Yeah.
to San Diego, LA, but not
Chargers.
with him or with Harbaugh there. Number 8, Bryce, what do you got Atlanta doing?
Atlanta, they have picked up so much offense that I see them going with Cooper DeJean from Iowa here.
All right. Roy?
I have Quinion Mitchell from Toledo going there.
Okay, corner. Gotcha.
Yep.
So I have seen the same player mocked here for everybody since the first mock draft I ever saw, and that's that Dallas Turner. So I am just not picking him because I don't like picking the same thing that everybody picks. But where I took it, I got Cooper DeJean also going to Atlanta. They're at 8. They need defense. I think it's going to be a defensive pick.
Yeah.
Number 9 with the Bears. And I don't know if they are going to move up from this spot. I think they would like to. I just don't know if they will. Bryce, what do you got for the Bears at 9?
Yeah, if they don't move up, I think they've been tied to him for a long time. Rome Odunze.
All right.
Whatever.
Roy?
I have Brock Bowers going here.
Oh,
I don't think there's Cole Kmet's a top 10 in the league, and they just signed Everett, so I just don't see them taking a tight end.
I would love that, though. That'd be sick.
I think that they want offensive line or offensive weapons around there for Williams.
And I also have a receiver, Bryce, but this is where I have
Yep.
someone falling. I have Malik Neighbors falling down to the Bears at 9.
I mean, that's not really much of a fall. I
No.
think him and Rome are kind of
Yeah.
the same.
How about number 10? Roy, what do you got?
This is where I have Malik Neighbors going to the Jets.
That would be disgusting. Aaron Rodgers,
Garrett Wilson,
Garrett
and
Wilson,
Neighbors.
and Malik Neighbors. Yeah, good luck. Bryce, what do you got at 10?
Sorry, Garrett Wilson threw me off. I was thinking Zach
Bronco.
Wilson,
Oh,
and I was like, "What?"
he's a Bronco.
Yeah, he's a Bronco now. For
Bronco.
anybody who doesn't know, they got their future star quarterback. What pick are we on? 10.
10.
I have the Jets taking the defensive route and going Byron Murphy II from Texas.
Gotcha. I have them much different. I have them going tackle. They got to protect Aaron Rodgers from tearing his other Achilles. I got to tackle out of Oregon State, Talise Fuanga. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's who I have. Number 11, Minnesota. Now, I will say in theory, I think LA and Minnesota are going to flip this pick. So I have this player going at 11, but I think this is the number 5 pick in the draft. And I just want to make that clear. I have the Vikings trading up, but in this case, taking at 11, Michigan's quarterback J.J. McCarthy.
For me, I have the Vikings also taking the most mediocre white quarterback they could find in the draft, J.J. McCarthy from Michigan.
The best quarterback out there. Now, I haven't taken a quarterback, but I mean, I think because everybody else is off, I think I had got Michael Penix Jr.
Wow. Okay, before we get there, I just want to ask this question. Bryce, do you have Michael Penix as a first-round pick?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay.
Let me see. No, I don't.
You don't have him?
Mm-mm.
I also don't have him as a first-round pick.
I do. I think too many people want quarterbacks.
Okay, and you don't have to tell me the team if you do. Do you have Bo Nix as a first-round pick?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
You
With
do?
With
I
the next
also
pick.
do. Okay, well, we'll
That's
get
crazy because I have him with the next
Okay.
pick, Roy.
Well, then we'll just go in. Broncos, you guys both got.
Bo
Bo
Nix.
Nix. Sean
I
Payton
don't
said
have
they
Bo
liked
Nix
him.
or Michael Penix as a first-round pick.
They're going with a quarterback. They already said that.
Yeah. I have them going defense. Dallas Turner, that's where his fault ends right there. I don't think they take quarterback. They got their future.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Are you?
That's crazy.
No, they don't.
That is so dumb.
I wanted to see Brice's face.
Sean
I
Payton
can't
will
stand
send him. Sean Payton's going to send him packing after about 5 weeks.
Nope.
I cannot stand him.
I had to say it. I had to look at your face when I said it. 13, Vegas. Brice, what do you got?
13, I have cornerback Quayon Mitchell
Okay.
from Toledo.
I see it. Roy?
I have tackle from Penn State, Alamuya, whatever, Fascio.
Fashanu is how you say the last name.
Fashanu.
I don't know
That's
how
who
to
I
say
got.
the first name.
Aliwaya.
I also have a tackle, Roy. I just don't have the same one. I got Troy Fanatu from Washington, but I agree in the tackle. And then I'll go to 14. I have Omu Fashanu at 14 to the Saints. Tackle.
I have Jerzon Newton, defensive lineman from Illinois.
Johnny Newton. Yeah, Roy. That's what I'm talking about. Top 14 pick.
It was a tough pick.
After having the top 5 pick last year in the draft, Illinois' defense, baby.
I have the Saints taking a receiver from Texas, Adonai Mitchell.
Adonai Mitchell.
Yep.
Yep. Too bad he has diabetes and is crazy in practice, apparently. I don't know if you guys saw that report. His diabetes is off the charts, and he just acts crazy.
Needs some sugar.
Yeah.
I did see that.
15.
15 for the Colts. Roy, what do you got?
I can't. Are you guys froze? Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Oh, now I can. Yeah, you froze.
No.
So
You're
okay,
welcome.
go ahead.
15, Roy. Colts, what do you got?
This is where I have Dunza, whatever.
Ooh, wow,
Going the
yeah.
Colts.
Receivers have historically fallen the last few years. I mean, you look at CeeDee Lamb, he didn't go till 18, and he was a highly touted prospect. So it's not uncommon for receivers to fall, but a lot of times I've seen once one goes, it's domino effect. They all start to go. So I don't hate it, Roy. I really don't.
At
Right?
15, I have from Alabama, cornerback Terrion Arnold.
Okay. I like it. Yeah. This is where I have Leatu Latu. I think they need a little bit of defensive help. Give them on the edge. 16, Seattle, I'll go first. I have another edge rusher from Florida State, Jared Verse.
This is where I have Leatu Latu from UCLA.
Okay. So you have an edge as well.
I have Seattle teaming up the Illinois boys, Johnny Newton.
Oh, Johnny Newton,
teaming
man.
up with Witherspoon.
Oh,
yeah.
Kyle better hope not, or I'll be going to a Seattle game. 17, Roy, what do you got to go to Saxonville?
Cooper DeJean going to Jacksonville.
Brice.
I have this is where my fall stops for Dallas Turner from Alabama.
Oh, that would be a fall. I'm not against it. I mean, it could definitely happen, but that's definitely a fall. Most people view him as a top 10 pick. I have him outside the top 10. So, I believe you guys both have him off your board. I could be wrong. Quinyon Mitchell, corner from Toledo. This
Yeah.
is where I have him going.
I do have him.
No, number 18, the Cincinnati Bengals. Roy, what do you got?
I got Byron Murphy the second
Okay.
from Texas.
Well,
This is where my other fall ends. Brock Bowers going to Cincinnati.
ooh, I actually like that fit. I don't know
Yeah.
if he'd fall that far, but that would be a sweet pick.
Yeah, it would.
I would root for that, honestly. I'd hope you'd get that right if he's there. I have them protecting Joe Burrow. I have them taking Alabama tackle J.C. Latham. I think that's how you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
At 19 for the shit Rams, I have Byron Murphy, Roy.
That's where. Well, I have Talise.
I have them filling Aaron Donald's spot with him.
Well, for the Rams, I have the tackle Talise Fuga.
I have the
Yeah.
same pick as Roy.
Okay. Not a bad pick. Really don't. Number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers. Brice, what do you got?
This is where I have Fashanu.
Okay. I can see it.
God damn, that's what I have.
Damn.
I'm
Losers. Well, you guys are either going to blow me out of the water or going to be way behind me.
going to get a lot of points off that Brock Bowers one.
I have them going out and getting receiver Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. They need some playmakers out there for Russell Wilson. Miami at 21. Roy?
This is where I have J.C. Latham.
Okay.
I have Graham Barton from Duke, tackle.
Gotcha. I have Terrion Arnold from Alabama, the corner. One of you, I believe, already had him higher.
I did.
Yes.
I had him at 15.
Yep. Number 22, the Eagles. I'll go first. I struggled with this pick. Eagles always seem to get the biggest name left. They just always go for the name. It usually works, but I didn't do that in this case. I have them going Nate Wiggins, corner out of Clemson.
Same here. Nate Wiggins out of Clemson.
I have them taking Peyton Wilson for another linebacker.
I don't believe I have him as a first-round pick.
North Carolina State.
Yep.
I have him first round pick.
Okay. I only know that because I remember only seeing one linebacker, and I didn't end up choosing him. That's why I knew that. Via Cleveland, the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock again for their second pick. Roy, what do you got?
Terrion Arnold here going to Minnesota.
That's a good one.
I have them picking up another tackle to protect JJ and Troy Fatumanu.
Which one? Oh, I got you. The one from Washington? Gotcha.
Washington.
I also have them going tackle, just a different one.
Yep.
Armius Mims from Georgia. Apparently, he's like that crazy monster that just doesn't know how to play football yet.
Boy.
Yeah. I could see them trying to do that with beefing up that O-line. My Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to go last on this one because I want to see if you guys
You're gonna love my pick.
I would say it was you. Somebody had a funny pick. So, Roy, what do you got for Dallas?
Oh, no. Mine is Peyton Wilson here, linebacker from North Carolina State.
I would not hate that at all.
My pick for the Cowboys is Kool-Aid McKinstry.
That won't happen, but I would also love that. This is who I want. From what I've read, he will not be here on the board, but I had him fall just because I wanted him. I have Jackson Powers Johnson, center out of Oregon. I really want a center in this draft. All reports I've read is Dallas is going offensive line in any way. Tackle, center, guard. They're going to take a lineman, but that's who I want. 25 Green Bay. Roy?
This is where I have Mims from Georgia.
Okay.
This is where I have J.C. Latham.
Okay, you guys both go O-line. I go on the defensive side. Not a fit you would think in Green Bay for Kool-Aid McKinstry, but I got him going there, and they're going to love him and a bunch of cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is at 26. I'll go first. I have a tackle from Duke, Graham Barton.
This is where I have the Mims guy going.
I got Jared Verse from Florida State, edge rusher going here.
Via Houston, Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. Brice?
This is where I have Jared Verse going. Is Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
This is where I got Kool-Aid at. I think he fits well with that atmosphere out there.
I have them taking a tackle after already taking Marvin Harrison. They're going to beat that offense up. They're going to take Tyler Guyton, tackle out of Oklahoma. Number 28, Bills. Roy?
I have them getting Graham Barton at tackle out of Duke here.
Or Brice?
I had them taking cornerback Nate Wiggins from Clemson.
I can see it. I have them trying to find a replacement on offense. I have wide receiver Adonai Mitchell from Texas moving into that.
I actually clicked this one and then couldn't figure out a way to undo it.
Yeah.
That's not who I wanted to go there, but I'm just going to run with it now.
Yeah. You never know. You might get lucky.
Yeah.
Lions. I'll go first. They lose a guard in the draft or in the free agency. I have them going tackle Zach Frazier from West Virginia.
I got him going Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon here.
If the Cowboys don't select Jackson Powers Johnson, I will and he's on the board, I'll lose my mind.
I have another Michigan player going here, and Mike Sanderstill.
Sanderstill, yeah.
Yep.
I don't have him as a first round pick.
I don't have first round, but I almost clicked that because I think they like him.
What's the player from Michigan? His first name's Chris, Kris. Chris something.
Chris Jenkins.
I almost had him going at the last pick, but I didn't. That takes us into number 30 with the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm going to go first. I have them trying to help Lamar Jackson. I have them going wide receiver from Oregon, Troy Franklin.
Oh, we were going to have the same pick for a second.
I have a Donna Mitchell from Texas going here.
I have LSU's Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, so we all have a receiver going there. Interesting. Number 31, Brice, what do you got for the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers?
I have Arizona tackle Jordan Morgan going there.
Okay, I don't think I have him in the first round, so I don't know who that is.
Well, I mean,
I have
Tyler. No, you're 2 picks off. I get it.
I got Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma, tackle from Oklahoma.
Okay. I hope I'm wrong on this. Just feels like a fit. I have Johnny Newton going to 49ers here at 31. I think he's going to slide. He's a good pass rusher, but he is smaller for a D tackle, so I could see him sliding in the draft. And then someone like a good team will go, I don't care about the size, I care about the player. So, and then 32, your former Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, last pick of the draft for this. Roy, what do you got?
I have Keon Coleman, a wide receiver for Florida State.
I almost did that.
I think they need a big receiver on the outside, and that's why
he is a big motherfucker.
I have also a wide receiver from Oregon, Troy Franklin.
Okay. I went on the defensive side of football. I didn't like the receivers I had left on the board at this point because I had Franklin and them going early. Yeah. I have edge rusher from Penn State, Chop Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I thought about picking him somewhere around here.
Okay, so we've gone over our picks. I just kind of want to, we didn't touch the trades. Is there a trade that you're looking – or Roy, I believe you said something about the number 3 pick because you viewed it. What are the trades you're looking for that maybe you think are going to happen or maybe you want to happen? Maybe something you really want to see even though you maybe don't think it will happen.
Well, no, we're going to see – you're going to see Denver and Minnesota try to move up and get a quarterback. You're going to try to see them do something. And I've been reading that the Giants are looking to try to do some moving to get a quarterback. They're not. Yeah,
they have been known to move. Especially now, you lose Saquon. I really don't hate that because, the Giants are just not going to compete with Dallas and Philly next year. Let's be real.
Well, and this is a new regime. They didn't draft Jones, and that's why they're sitting there saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's bring somebody else in, and we can at least you got Jones. It's Jones' job to lose, but then you bring a guy. That's why I think 3 is the pick because I think the Patriots aren't sold on getting a quarterback early. Yeah, from what I've read. And so they're willing to eat some, take some, draft or back up in the draft and get a Michael Penix or somebody and trade it. But then they're willing to, if it's not anything they want, like there's an offer out there they don't like, they're going to draft a quarterback.
Okay, before I get to you, Brice, I have a hypothetical scenario for you, Roy. You ready?
Yep.
Caleb Williams goes 1 to Chicago. Drake May or Jaden Daniels goes 2 to Washington. The other one goes 3 to New England. None of them move. So you have Williams, Daniels, May off the board.
That's what I've got.
Okay, let's just say hypothetically that happens. At number 5, hypothetically, one of those teams that you said, Minnesota, Denver, I'll even throw Vegas into the mix because they could also use a quarterback.
Yeah, Vegas.
Let's say one of those 3 move up to 5 and take, I would think, J.J. McCarthy, and that would leave Penix and Nix left. If you are, we'll use Minnesota. We'll say Minnesota does that with 5. Giants are on the clock at 6. If you're Denver or Vegas, are you calling for number 6 to take Penix or Nix? Or at that point, are you saying I'm sitting?
No, I think they know you could probably get Penix or Nix late in the first round or late first round or second round. So I think you don't pick them up. I honestly, from what I've read and I watched today, Washington is picking Daniels. Picking Daniels. From everything I've read.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
And I've read that the Patriots aren't sold on May. So, but the Giants, from what I read, the Giants like May and J.J. McCarthy. So they'll trade up and try to get either one of those teams. Yeah. Minnesota really wants J.J. So that'll be the question where they move up to 5, which I could see Jim Harbaugh letting him, get to go get his quarterback J.J. McCarthy.
I find this weird to me, Roy. In Michigan, J.J. McCarthy was definitely a hand the ball off first. It was a run offense, and he made the plays he needed to after that. I'm not taking it away from him. You send him to Minnesota. That is a pass-first offense. Get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Get the ball to T.J. Hawkinson. Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying if hypothetically he goes there. Do you think that's a good fit? Like, just you're passing the ball every play? I know it's the NFL, and that's most teams.
I think JJ has the capability. He's got an arm. He's got a hell of an arm. I mean,
I wasn't asked to do that. Like,
no, he was not. But you know what? He kept us in that game against TCU a couple years ago. I mean, that's what he was capable. There were several games throughout this year where if we didn't have him, I mean, the Alabama game, if we didn't in the second half, there in the fourth quarter, if he doesn't make a couple passing touchdowns, we don't win that ball game. Yeah. And we had to get away from the run game. So he makes plays. I mean, he's just cool and collective. That's why he'll be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. To me, the quarterback is just the most fascinating part of this draft. There's just so many of them. It's not like your typical, he's going 1, he's going 2, and that's going to be your first round. I mean, there's just outside of, maybe I think at this point, Williams and Daniels.
There's a lot of teams that need a quarterback because the problem is a lot of them did not hit a couple of years ago. I mean, look at the Raiders, prime example. I mean, they tried to get Derek Carr, and he turned out to be shit. Giants are struggling. Giants are struggling with Daniel Jones. Yeah. I mean, Minnesota didn't draft quarterback. They had Kirk Cousins. He leaves, so now you got an opening. And there's just a lot of teams that need a quarterback.
How about you, Brice? When it comes to trades, I know you kind of talked about the Bears at 9, but maybe you can talk about that one. But is there anything else you're looking for as well?
I don't think like you guys think I don't think the 5 is shoppable at all. I think that they are going to get their guy there, and if they don't, they won't be able to. So I think that the 4 is more shoppable than the 5 is because I think Arizona is willing to trade back for an absolute haul because that's what you can get for a player like Marvin Harrison.
And I agree with you. I do agree that they would move that pick for a haul. Yeah. But there has got, and I said this with the Bears, there has got to be a team willing to give up their whole future. And at the end of the day, I mean, what team can afford to give up everything for a receiver right now?
If I'm the Bears, I'm trading my next 2 first for this year's 4th.
I'm telling you, that is not enough. Terrible.
So what I heard today on ESPN was it was 4 first rounders.
Yeah,
to get the 4th pick.
See, and that's what I'm saying
because they want to build around Kyler Murray. That is their goal right now.
Exactly, and they can take Marvin Harrison, who a lot of people think could be the best player in the draft. I don't know if he will be. I'm just saying, if you can add that to Kyler Murray, that's what they want. They want Marvin Harrison, and they're set up to do it because if anyone's going to go and take 3, more than likely it's going to be for a quarterback. That's why they're going into 3. So they're set primed for Marvin Harrison, and the only way they're going to move that is if they get a generational haul, which I don't think they're going to get. Not for a receiver.
For 4 picks. I mean, you're talking. They were. I think I read that the least that they would take was 3 first rounds and like a second or a third round. That's the least they would.
The Bears,
like you said, that's ruining your future.
And if the Bears have that, that's the thing and I understand of course, everyone wants Marvin Harrison, especially if you can team up him and Caleb Williams. I'm not saying it's not a fucking dream scenario, but at the end of the day, the Bears are set up so well for the future. Don't ruin it by just getting 1 player. Now, if it was only 2, like you said, I'm 100% in agreement. But you don't throw 3 in 2 seconds. You can't do that. Yeah.
You can only do that if you're looking. If you're 1 piece away from winning a Super Bowl, like
there isn't in this case,
and then you're in a window where you're going to win for the next several years, which they're just not in that right now. And that's the way. And there's not a lot of teams. The only team that you could do that would be like Kansas City. Yeah. I don't see Kansas City being that dumb to go up there and try to trade for a wide receiver like that.
The only thing that sucks is I really don't want to see him in Arizona. I don't know. It's just a boring team.
I feel like he'll just waste his career away there.
I think he can be good there. To me, Arizona has just always been one of those teams that's just not fun to watch.
I'm okay with it. Ohio State.
Kyler Murray's going to play 10 games this year, and only 4 of them are going to be worth watching.
Okay, for me, I really think Brice doesn't agree with me. I really think number 5 is going to be the team because if Williams, Daniels, and May go 1, 2, 3, which that's not a lock. I'll agree with you, Roy. I'm not saying 3 will be a quarterback. But if it is, most people will view J.J. McCarthy as the next big one. A lot of people have question marks on Penix and Bo Nix. And you can sit there at 5 and probably get a pretty good haul. I'm not saying you're going to get 3 or 4 first-round picks. You could probably get 2 for sure. And if you're the Chargers, they're decent. I mean, they just traded Keenan Allen. They just traded a bunch of their receivers. I think you could move down and still get a good receiver at 11.
I think I could see the Chargers doing because they didn't. They need a lot of. They got a lot of weak places.
Yeah, their defense is not very good.
Jim Harbaugh's.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He gets draft picks and he likes getting players who he wants. He doesn't.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
I can see
and
that
he's coming into a roster that's not his roster.
No.
He wants to build it his way. They don't have to win the division, especially with the Chiefs riding this streak right now. Take a year or two to get your players that you want and let them ride this.
He's going to have to do it quicker than usual because you got a quarterback right now that you're not paying a lot.
Oh, no, they're paying him.
I know, but you're not paying him like what you're going to have to pay him because he's freaking pretty damn good.
Oh, no, they've paid him. He is like the third highest paid quarterback in football. They paid him last year.
Oh, is it last year?
Yeah. But
you're looking at you're in a window right here where you're going to have to build it around him and win.
The good thing about it is they signed him early, though. So he's still only like 25. You take 3 or 4 years, you're hitting that 27, 20. That's when quarterbacks play their best usually, is that 28 to 32 range.
Yeah, but that's when he's going to want $40 million a year.
Yeah. The only other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is your lock of the draft. And I don't mean player to team. I mean player to turn out and be solid player for the next 5 to 8 years. Doesn't have to be a superstar per se, but just a good player who's on the field playing every day. Who is your lock to be the pick? I'm going to start with Brice because I'm curious to see where he goes.
I think that the most safe answer for this is Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's just got the size and he's got so much skill and the size that he'll be fine no matter what team he's on.
Okay. Roy, is yours also Marvin Harrison or is it somebody else?
Fuck no, I ain't going to pick an Ohio State fucker.
We're going to pick someone else because I also think that. But when you said it, I said, that actually is just a very basic answer.
Yeah.
So me and you are going to choose someone else because I think most people would probably go that route. Go ahead, Roy.
I really think it's going to be Joe Alt. I think he's a top-tier tackle, and I think he's going to be a pretty good for the NFL. And I think there's several tackles in this draft that I think will be very, very, very good for the future.
Yeah.
As much as I want to pick Caleb Williams, it's just so hard to pick a quarterback.
I agree.
Well, I wouldn't pick a quarterback.
And
if you get in the wrong situation or a coach gets fired or whatever, things change.
Especially since Chicago has had that history of not.
I know. I mean, especially Chicago.
Yeah.
My other pick would probably be Leatu.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know how to say his name, but
edge rushers are also really hard sometimes. Mine would be Marvin Harrison, and then when Brice said it, I said that's just a boring pick. My other one is the person who I want the Cowboys to draft, and that's probably why. I just think from what I've watched, and it's not a lot, but Jackson Powers Johnson, the center from Oregon, everything I've read is this kid is just a perfect NFL center. Perfectly sized.
First round.
I don't think he'll make it to 24 from what I've read. I have a lot of people saying the 14 to the 20 range is just where he's going to go. A lot of people think the Bengals could take him. A lot of people think the Steelers could. Again, it's just the NFL draft's way too hard to predict.
There's just too many trades nowadays.
Yeah. I'll take that as my lock of being the next, Pro Bowl center for years to come. And the fun part about this that we just did is we're going to have this in YouTube and documentation. And if we're doing this podcast, which hopefully we are in 5 years, and we can pull these things out, and boy, are they going to be funny. Hey, Brice, remember when you said Leatu Latu, who played one season and then, chopped someone's head off and is in jail for the rest of his life?
I'd be the guy to pick the criminal.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
He didn't make a great addition to that fucking longest yard line.
Latu, Henry
Ruggs, Rashid Rice. It would be a stellar team.
Is there anything you guys want to talk about? I'm open to talking about anything. Maybe players you think are overrated, teams that you think should trade down, teams that you think maybe should trade up. I'm open to anything. Or are you guys good?
The only thing as much as I'm not a big fan of, Keon Coleman I think is a better receiver than what people are going to say. He's just and he's got hands. Yeah. He was on a terrible Michigan State team and he made plays. And then he got transferred to Florida State. He's a good receiver, and I think he's going to be – he's a problem. His problem, he's the one that might be in jail. For some reason. So
Well, I actually do know a little bit more about Keen Coleman than some of the other receivers. He's really tall. He's really fast. Players like that usually have a hard time running a whole lot of routes other than the hitch, the go, those things. So if he can develop, you look at Mike Evans, he's developed into running any route, and it has the speed and the size. And then you look at, who was it? The Panthers receiver, like 5 or 6 years ago, who got really fat. You know who I'm talking about?
Mike Colbert?
No. You know who I'm talking about?
that's running.
I'll look it up.
No, but the thing about Keenan Coleman, when he was at Michigan State, they just threw it up to him and he caught it. And then he went to Florida State, and then their quarterback got hurt.
Travis Benjamin. Thank you. You said Travis.
He actually Keon is pretty. I mean, he's just got big hands, and he'll go get that ball. And they just need to put him on the outside wherever they go. So that's why I think Kansas City would be perfect for him. Other than he does have some attitude problems and stupid shit like that.
Andy Reid can fix that.
I don't know if Andy Reid really wants to put up with that kind of crap anymore.
So,
after the Brice, so who knows?
Yeah. How about you, Brice? Anything you want to talk about in general?
The other spot that I would like to see the Bears go for personally is 5, if that is shoppable, and take Joe Alt. I think pairing him and Darnell Wright on both sides.
Who is your other tackle?
Darnell Wright.
No, the other one. Who played? If Darnell Wright played one, what's the other one?
It's shoot, I can't remember his name now.
Just look up Bears tackles.
Yeah.
I felt like they had 2 young ones.
They do. Trevin Jenkins.
Yeah, wasn't he a second-round pick?
I would like him to move to the interior, though.
Oh, I don't.
One of them move to.
I have no clue if he's
an interior offensive lineman. One of the two move to an interior offensive lineman.
Yeah,
I think Taven Jenkins is just.
So you would trade up from 9 and go, or are you talking about trading a different pick and keeping 9?
Yeah.
So
I'm not talking about trading.
Okay, would you rather? I don't know. I'm trying to think of how I would phrase. Would you rather the Bears? Let's just say they're taking Caleb Williams, lock, take a receiver, or move up for a tackle? If you had to choose one, a receiver, Malik Neighbors or Odunze, let's just say one of the two are available at 9. Would you rather them take them or move up and take a tackle like Joel?
See, that's so even to me. Like, I think Joel being on the other side of Darnell Wright for the next 5 years will have one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yeah.
But there, on the other hand, we have Keenan Allen on a 1-year deal.
True, and you have DJ Moore, and you could have, let's say Malik Neighbors for this case.
Yeah.
Be the 3, be the slot. Let him learn. Either extend Keenan Allen or let him go. Let him take the next step
and then be the number 2
Yeah.
next year.
I don't know. I didn't watch the Bears.
If you're going to trade up for a tackle, I think you could wait a little bit and maybe trade back and get more picks. And because I think the Penn State guy Fashu or whatever, I think he's going to be a really good tackle, and so is Troy Fonanu from Washington is going to be good. They're going to both be good tackles. So you could get a tackle later if you wanted to. I mean, Joe Alt's going to be good. I think he's going to be one of those staple guys for a while. Yeah. But I just
don't think Ryan Poles is trading back. He doesn't want any more picks, really.
I don't think so. Their needs are in that window at 9.
Then you could pick somebody at 9.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't think they're trading back by any means, unless they get a stupid haul. But I don't think you're going to see a stupid haul at 9 unless they went back like one spot. Then that's completely different.
What do you need a corner? Because Denver is saying they're going to.
Hold on, Roy. I was getting to that. So I think you are in agreement, tackle or receiver.
Yeah. Are
you going to be upset if it's a different position? Like they take a corner, a linebacker, an edge rusher.
I mean, as high as it is, I don't think there's anybody on defense you can take. Our defense is so young. And
what if they took Dallas Turner, the edge rusher? Because a lot of people have him going 8
I wouldn't
Atlanta.
Be upset with an edge rusher.
Okay, so you're open to a few more things than just
edge rusher is probably the only other one you can take at 9, in my opinion.
Brock Bowers.
No.
How pissed are you?
I'm pretty pissed. I wouldn't be a few months ago before we signed Gerald Everett, but there's just no reason for it now.
Guy just said he didn't want Brock Bowers because they have Gerald Everett, who's on his 6th team in 6 years.
Who's our second string?
Who could be gone in a month.
I know. He was a decent player for the Chargers. Was the Chargers right last year? And I just don't think that you put a rookie come in and be the 2 behind Cole Kmet and split time with.
Well, he'd be the 1.
No, he
He'd
wouldn't
be the 1.
No, well,
He
if
would
they're
be the
going,
one.
if they're taking him at 9, he's
Brock
going to be the
Bowers
1.
will be better than Cole Kmet.
If they're taking him at 9, he would be the 1. Now, I don't think they're going to take him.
Yeah.
I was just hypothetically. Yeah, to me, the Bears are fascinating. They could have the draft of the century if everything clicks. I liked Roy's idea. The more he talked about it, the more I liked it, of the Giants moving down. The Giants moved down to like 11, and those teams all go up to take a quarterback, and they get 2 first and still end up with a good receiver like Neighbors or Odunze at like 11. I really like something like that. This draft's going to be fascinating.
So.
What's that?
I'm reading that the Giants are trying to get a quarterback. They want May or they want JJ. That's what I read.
If they're doing that, then they're going up because
they can get one of them probably at 6, unless somebody trades up past them at 5.
Yeah, it would be determined on what the Chargers do, and I think the Chargers are going to move.
It also depends on what the Patriots do.
True. Yeah, it's fascinating. I don't have a whole lot else. For the Cowboys' sake, I just really hope they. The one thing about the Cowboys is they have drafted so well over their past 10 years. I trust whoever they take. Like, I'll use an example. A few years ago, they took Tyler Smith out of Toledo. He was a tackle. I had never heard of him. He's an all-pro guard the first 2 years of his career. I mean, at the end of the day, I trust them to develop who they get because more than likely they do. I think they're going to go offensive lineman with the departure of Tyron Smith, so I just hope Powers falls, but if not, I'm sure they'll take a tackle and it'll be a boring night for me. But yeah, the Bears are going to be a cool draft. I wish we were going to the draft because that'd be electric.
I know we almost did too.
Yeah, we're not talk about who ruined that.
I didn't ruin it.
Yeah, you did. We were going to go.
I was on a golf trip. I got invited. I can't help that.
I would have priorities and went to the draft.
Yeah, right. You pitched me in a heartbeat for a golf trip to Virginia.
No, I have no interest to go to Virginia.
I just want to point out probably the greatest trade of the century while we were talking about it. Last year's first overall pick being traded to the Panthers. Carolina got Brice Young. Chicago is getting DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison, most likely Caleb Williams, Tyreek Stevenson, and a 2025 second round. I mean,
now I do completely agree with you.
Yeah,
steal of the century. Till Caleb Williams is a bust and Brice Young takes the next step and becomes a Hall of Fame track quarterback. Then it's not steal of the century. Do I think that's going to happen? No, not at all.
No.
But
if that does happen,
it's too early to say that, even though at the moment it is a steal of the century. I do agree. But I'll even side with Carolina. I don't think anyone had them being as bad as they were. I didn't. Especially in a weak division. Like, that NFC South is not strong by any means. So
I never thought Brice Young was that good. I mean, I had to defend Justin Fields against Brice Young for a few months, so I watched a lot of his playing, and I just didn't think he was a number 1 overall pick caliber. I thought CJ Stroud was better in college than he was.
It's easy to say that now, but I still think Brice Young is going to be pretty good. I mean, won a Heisman for a reason. Didn't win it running, so I don't think I have anything else. You guys?
Nope.
All right, I think that's going to do it for our draft episode. If you guys want, watch this video. When your team picks or something crazy happens, go to the comment section and do it. I'm going to have our YouTube channel open live during the draft when I'm watching. I'll comment live to fans if you guys want. Just go in there and go into the comment section. We can have some conversations about picks going on, future picks. I think it could be fun if you guys want to. So I'll be live on the YouTube in the comment section.
Check out our Twitches and also Triple Alpha Gaming on YouTube. Uploading on there about once a week. Mainly MLB The Show content right now, but we might flip to some other stuff.
Yeah, so
first video already got 200 views.
Yep.
So I mean, starting off strong.
I mean, it was one of the most unbelievable clips I've ever seen. Not gonna lie,
it's a pretty awesome clip. I pulled an Ian Happ, Roy. It's a very expensive Ian Happ.
He was $80K. It wasn't that expensive.
He was like 95.
Ian Happ, who cares?
I pulled Aaron Judge the day before.
Yeah.
All right, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and we hope you like this special episode. We'll see you next Tuesday for the draft results and our grades. We're going to give grades to each team. So peace out, subscribe. That's all I got.
See ya.
See ya.
Gotta find my way to you, even though you're next to